Yeah.
find out. One of the you can get a light.
Sorry, talking's giving me a hard time.
Yeah, that's good.
And then it's like $10.
Yeah, that's good.
Some charge 20. I mean, we don't.
It's okay.
That's
Yeah, that's
small.
pretty neat. That's cool.
It's money coming in.
It's 6:01.
All right, we'd like to call this meeting to a hold of order, do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Barrett? Ms. Altier?
Here.
Ms. Pennington?
Yes.
Ms. Gage?
Here.
Ms. Belknap? Mr. Belknap?
Here.
All right, we have any prior guests to speak? Yes, sir.
Mayor, I got about 8 questions that are 1 or 2 word answers.
Okay.
My problem is,
May I have your name for the record, please?
Terry Carpenter, I'm the pastor at the Nazarene Church.
Okay, sorry, thank you.
I tried emailing all these to you guys, but your website's not up to date.
Yeah, we're definitely working on that right now. That is, it's rough.
You know, if I can go through them real quick, like I said, there are 1 or 2 answers.
You're fine.
And whoever they apply to, just feel free to answer. It's considering where this council stands at. We've heard rumor that the council is looking to bring in a business that sells or makes marijuana to the township. Is that correct or not?
We're looking into making legislation if one wanted to come in, yes.
So there's nothing planned as of right now?
That I'm not sure of as of right now.
Okay. My question to the council then would be, what homework, if any, have you done?
I've spoken with, we did the one time have Professor come in here to speak with us about it, and I have spoken to different people that run or operate.
Okay? Is the council aware of that when the federal government passed marijuana to be legal, there was a lot of states that jumped in on putting those businesses in their town? But since then, every one of those states have recontacted the federal government to ask for some way that the state can have some authority to get rid of it because it's just tearing up their communities. Whether it's addiction, whether it's crime, whether it's, you can call it anything, but each and every one of those states that voted to approve it have also asked it to take it away since they've asked that thing.
Do you have information
Source.
like backing that up?
I can get it,
I would, if you could email it to me,
okay?
I'd appreciate that.
And the only reason I'm showing concern as a business in this community, whether it's a church or not, it's still business. To my knowledge, the council is the only one talking about it. Has it ever been brought to the public's attention as far as voting if they even want it or don't want it?
Well, if one comes, then there will be a public hearing and all that, so that's why I said there's nothing, if one was coming today, I can't just say, or we can't just say, yes, it's coming, it has, there's a process for this, so it's a long drawn out process anyway, so you, everyone from the community would have the opportunity to come speak and give your opinion on that.
Well, a couple of my questions was, how many times has the squad been called out for either addiction or alcohol or domestic violence? How many police calls have been gone out in the last year concerning that matter?
Over pot?
Yes.
My question is, are we addressing just marijuana, or are we going after alcohol, cigarettes, and everything as well?
Whether you wanna divide it up is irrelevant. I have 37 people that come to my church once a week. We have lost at least 6 people over the year who's OD'd or lost their life to suicide because they couldn't handle those problems. And we have a Hope House here that caters to those needs. Why in the world would we want something like that?
It's not.
We're just setting them up for failure. I get it, it's an income for the city. But is it money worth the downgrade of the community that's gonna happen because of it? I'm all for bringing businesses here. I'm all for helping people. But I don't think that the long, or the big picture is being looked at. And that's my concern as a business, but also as an individual. Now, I know pot's, it's not as bad as they said it was. But those records that I talked about each state, the number one problem that they had when they approved them coming in is the government lost all control out of what they put in it. They're lacing it now with all kind of stuff to try and win business over from their competitors. And I just, as a concerned business here, I can't just sit back and say, hey, and allow it to happen. I have nothing personal against anybody here. I think you're all wonderful people. But at the same time, I have an obligation to my congregation. And I have an obligation to those 37 people who come each and every week to try and overcome some of these basic issues, whether it's drugs, alcohol, domestic violence. Every one of them are filled with police action in one way or another. They've been inside the jail, they've been locked up. We're trying to help them rehabilitate. And then I hear that this is being mentioned. Now, I'm not totally in the blind here. Council records these meetings. So I've been going back, even though I haven't been to each one of them, and I've been listening to them. And the impression I got was the fact that you guys were moving forward. It was almost a done deal. Now that's the impression I got based on what I could hear the council discussing. So I would urge you, and I'm just one person in this town, I would urge you as one of the businesses here to relook at this, do your homework, and throw in a little, I don't want to say common sense, but consciousness that you live in this town too. And I think you're gonna come to that agreement, whether a pastor's standing up or not. We wanna help these people, not hurt them. The money, I get, but is that money worth it? There's better ways for this community to grow. I've been gone 40 years, and I hate to admit it, but this is the same town it was 40 years ago. Not much has changed, and I say that sparingly. I'm not accusing or doing anything like that. No businesses, drug problem, alcohol problem.
We all have them.
I agree. That's why I'm standing here saying, is the council making the right decision?
Can I speak when he's done?
I'm done, go ahead.
Terry, so I'm the one, it wasn't council. What happened, I had many calls come in, all of these places being open from realtors. Do they allow cannabis? Do they allow cannabis? Okay. Regardless of whatever, first of all, the state approved it. Whether we like it or not, it's sitting in Warren, it's sitting in Kent, they're gonna go get it,
I agree.
okay? And when you're doing apples versus apples, whether it's wine drinking every night, whatever, it's a drug, it's a substance abuse, okay? But these are medical people, people have pain. Joyce Myers, you're a Christian. Joyce Myers, she used to sell it for pain. You know, I ain't big on it, I don't do that, any of that stuff, I don't even like to take a ibuprofen. But I'm just saying, I didn't approve it, the state did, and the voters approved the recreational one. I didn't do it, but people were coming at me, so I'm the one brought it in. I'm the one opened up the door, and I mean, as far as business, if they're gonna do it wherever, why not? I'm just saying, they're gonna get it, and it's a medical card now.
I agree 200%
You know,
with you.
I mean, I'm not into it. My mom has her comments too. We were brought up in the church too, but I'm just saying, it's going to go the way it's going to go. But whether you're sitting around drinking wine every night, what's the difference? Just saying.
I'll tell you the difference. I agree with everything you said.
You know what I mean?
All right, I see its medical
Right.
benefits and all this, it does wonders.
Right.
But I would urge you, as part of the council, to go look at what the federal government is putting out as far as data.
Mm-hmm.
The downfall of their communities and crime rates are not worth the money they're making, so they're
Yes.
trying to find a way to get rid of it.
And when you were talking being laced, that's street drugs. I don't think these cannabis people are gonna come in here. They're licensed through the state. And the companies that's wanting to come in are already licensed. So they have other facilities. But being laced with fentanyl, hey, we all hear about it. It's mostly streets, you know?
Okay.
It is what it is, but I'm just saying, I'm the one introduced, it wasn't even the council, I brought it to them. So,
I
if you
agree
wanna
with you,
be
I just,
be mad at me, but I'm just saying,
No,
I
I'm not.
get your take, I get every bit of it, it's just, it's gonna happen whether we like it or not.
I mean, you can't even go to Walmart.
Right,
Or, for instance, our gas station, I pulled in tonight to get a pop before I came here. And the odor of marijuana that came from out of this pickup truck,
right,
It's legal in Ohio.
I know it's legal, but you can't
I
drive.
agree, I agree.
Drive and use it, so.
Thank you. I appreciate the time, I'm not your enemy here.
No, I appreciate you
I'm
doing that,
just a
but I
concerned
did have
pastor.
a couple questions.
What?
With your concerns about that, and I have seen those individuals down at your church, and they're very well respectful, they walk back and forth and stuff. But in your wording, you had mentioned like alcohol and stuff, so is that to the point that we should go after people serving alcohol and try and get rid of that also, because that is, in your words, something that can.
In a perfect world, yes, but alcohol's been here long before we ever came in, alright? Being able to get whatever type of drug now legally is something that we can stop as a community. I'm sure we can't go back and say, okay, this be a alcohol-free community.
We can.
We can, but there again, it's not up just for me to decide, it would be the community. Just like this drug thing here. And that's all I'm looking at this from. And, you know, whether the council approves it or not, it's not my call. I may not agree with it, and I most certainly won't spend my money on it, but I'm more worried about what it does to the community. We're at a disadvantage already. So that's just my,
Alright, my last question was, when are those meetings open to the public, in case there was anyone watching or something that wanted to attend those?
The stuff that I was talking about was done by 2020. They did a Sunday night, a whole hour, talking about how every state that put those in and now trying to find a way through the federal government that can get them out. And that was their focus on 2020. I mean, I'm sure if it's on there, we can find data on it. But, that's what I experienced,
Okay,
okay?
Thank you.
anyone else?
Yeah, I'd like to weigh in a little bit. First of all, I think it's a great conversation to have. I think it's a conversation that we should have before make any time of main decision. Is that where you got where it's being laced with other things?
Same
2020?
Same thing. What's happening is there's no control now that they're allowed to do it. So they're experimenting with different types of things to change the original effect of marijuana to bring in more buyers. It's like a competition between each business. And if I can put something in it that makes it more potent, I'm still legal.
It's a good system.
I have heard that, the potency has grown over time, is that correct? So what?
They're able to synthesize it and put other things with it, but they're selling kratom, which is just as bad as everything else in gas stations right now.
Is that right?
Yeah, and they're trying to make it illegal, and it's not illegal yet.
Yeah. I've heard that where they grow it in, for the stores, because generation after generation, that it just becomes more potent than it was 20, 30 years ago.
And I think the idea from the state's perspective is they wanna regulate it.
Of course.
So that way, they're not getting the stuff that adds laced with fentanyl and stuff
Yeah,
out there. I mean, I'll be honest with you, we've made several arrests in the last month with people coming from Michigan with it to sell it here.
sure.
So, with that being said, they're driving to Michigan to get it. I don't know,
It's
I wouldn't think that would be laced at a, place where it's,
well, it's regulated there, what they do with
I
it
mean,
after they
on
walk
the
out the
street,
doors,
what you
yes.
can do it, lace it. From a business standpoint, the more you add something, it adds to your cost. So it does, from a business, doesn't make much sense to do that.
And-
Unless that's what you want.
Right, and where I'm at, honestly, is you're gonna get people that are gonna go to Warren, people that are gonna go to Kent, they're gonna buy this stuff, and if they wanna mix fentanyl in with it and sell it, they're gonna sell it for more money than what they get there.
Sure.
And if we have an option here, it could be us being in the store while, and maintaining it. I'm not against it, I'm not for it, I'm not,
But you
I'll
can
be
buy
honest.
candy and lace it with
Right.
fentanyl.
I absolutely can. And
Exactly.
that's, so I
So
don't
it
know
could be-
that,
Yeah, fentanyl's the main issue.
Yep.
I don't know that it's right or wrong, the state has allowed it, and I'm not here to speak on what the village should or should not do. I'm gonna enforce whatever they decide to do.
agreed.
And my thing will be that if it is here, we're gonna have some kind of control over what is leaving and who's doing it, cause we're gonna know the faces.
I agree with everything you both said. The only concern I have is not the adults. She mentioned medical stuff. I get it, but it's the kids, these kids at the school that don't have access to
They're
it.
not, I mean, there's gonna be requirements, it's gonna be so strict, I've studied and studied and studied, there's so much, there's gonna be security cameras, there's gonna be so much security going on there. They could go to prison if they sell to kids or there's a lot of stuff, you know, but Terry, I totally agree with everything you're saying. It's just, it's the world now, so it's part of the world, it's the rules, it's the laws, and
When this first came out, I thought it would be a great way of destroying the street trade. But it never happened because the legalized marijuana is more expensive than what they can buy it on
Right,
the street.
right.
Yeah, that's.
So that still, it's really hasn't hurt at all. When you can, you know, it's literally more expensive at the legalized store than it is on the streets. Unfortunately, it still isn't gonna change people selling it illegal, because it's
And
cheaper.
about that, anyone coming in is gonna have to spend almost $100,000, and they're not just gonna be coming in with no money. They have to have money to buy their license. There's a lot of money they have to just get the state license. Like I said, it was brought to me, so many people's called me because of all these open, facilities, and
And
I'm like,
my-
well, let's bring it to the table and get an ordinance on it.
And my intent was to get the council talking about it.
Yeah,
I'm not here to judge or point my finger at any one person. I'm here because I want to hear council look at the issue and talk about it.
Absolutely. That's a good idea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I just had quick things at the end, like we typically do, just a couple quick things already.
The end of the meeting?
Yeah.
Our fiscal report.
Uh,
Oh, sorry, we gotta do the minutes.
Need to make a motion to approve the minutes from the September 24 regular council meeting.
I'll second.
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Ms. Eltier,
Yes.
Ms. Pennington, Ms. Gage,
Yes.
Ms. Belknap,
Yes.
Mr. Belknap.
Yes.
We got financial, report.
Income and property tax collected year to date is $920,580.52. Total revenues collected to date, $2,178,098.51. Expenditures to date, $2,091,223.07. Our fund balance, to date is $2,176,608.76. I have included, which I'll do the meetings, the revenue summary for the year, the appropriations summary, and the fund summary for you all to take a look at. If you have any questions, please let me know. But I will put these reports in each meeting for you to take a look at.
Any old business topics? Council President's report.
I just have a couple of things. So I'm not sure that everybody is aware, but if you're not, they are doing house screenings at the Renaissance Center. And I was talking to the gentleman that's managing it, and he's saying that they're seeing very low participation. So they were doing screenings once a month, now they're going to once a quarter, because they're not seeing anybody, you know, actively participating in the screening. So I'm
Is
working
it
on,
free?
yes,
What kind of screening?
like blood work and,
That's the problem, we need to get it out more.
Well,
Well, remember that one meeting when I said there's a guy named Bob Namick and I gave everybody his name, it's on the tape, that's the guy. And we all gotta do a better job.
Can
of
we
getting
put that
stuff
on the
out.
street? And-
It's on the,
so what,
Is it?
it's on the page, but,
my only issue is I'm not on Facebook. So if I go on a Facebook page, I can't bring up all of this stuff. So again, I'm trying to work on an initiative to how do we raise awareness that this is going on. I've also asked him if there was an opportunity to bring one of those mammogram mobiles here to the community to, you know, for people who need to have a mammogram done on an annual basis. And he said yes, but you know, we wouldn't have to make sure that we had so many people signed up and so many people would have to attend in order for them to come to the community. And also the other thing is transportation. I feel like transportation for people who don't have great health, live in this part of town, and the Renaissance Center's over there, they're not able to get there, so I did have some dialogue with Ted St. John, because I know he has, where he provides,
Right.
rides, thank you, for people to get to doctor's appointments and those type of things. He recommended for me to reach out to the UH Foundation to see if there's any way they could help us with something like that. So again, just trying to work behind the scenes to see how can we raise awareness, how can we get people to these appointments, and get people in for some of the screenings that they potentially, for their health, so.
Is that like, just like once a week?
It's once a month, it's on
Okay.
a first Tuesday of the month or second.
First.
But now they're going to once a quarter because of low participation. So I wanna get a new flyer out there that actually has the next available date and kind of work through the community to see if, we can get some more
If
participation.
you was to give adequate time, I know, like Medicaid and Medicare, they will pay for rides, but you gotta do it like 2 or 3 weeks in advance.
Right, and that's the program
That's
that
what
that's what Ted,
But if,
Yeah.
if a way that we could promote it is we could always put it in the water bill and pass it out with our water bill. I mean, because the machine will put 2 or 3 different pieces into the water bill. So if we did it a month ahead. Yeah, but
That
I'll
machine
tell
will
her.
pay in the butt.
Yeah.
I just, again, wanted to
For a
throw,
good purpose, we could like do it.
wanted just to get it out there so everybody could start thinking about it. If you have ideas or suggestions on these type of things, then, hey, let me know, or if you wanna take action on something like this and work on it, let me know as well, so I can give you contact information. That's all I have.
Dispatch, police, and fire.
I make a motion to accept the dispatcher's police and fire report for September 2024.
Second. Sorry, I'll second you.
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Ms. Altier,
Yes.
Ms. Pennington?
Yes.
Ms. Gage?
Yes.
Ms. Belknap? Mr. Belknap?
Yes.
Mayor's correspondence. I did just wanna mention November 8th is the Veterans Day ceremony at the high school. It starts at 8:30 a.m. Well, the breakfast is at 8:30 a.m. and the ceremony will start at 9:15. It is open to the public or anyone of your family that you would like to invite. Also, they've had pretty good numbers. I've been invited the past 4 years, and it's been a pretty good time there. A lot of good speakers, all that good information. So going and a lot of heartfelt stories mentioned by a lot of those people. So if anybody can make it, that's November 8th at 8:30 a.m. at the Windham High School Gymnasium.
Do we have to call?
No, you can
You
just,
don't
it's
have to?
just one, no, cause, well, I don't, they invite me, I'm not even
Well, I
in the
mean, the
military.
veterans, do they
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
give
well,
an
yeah,
idea?
they give the, yeah, so if anybody's a veteran, they would call if they wanna get their name mentioned or anything like that, or if they wanna be part of the ceremony, they would call in, but if not, if you just wanna go to attend and be recognized as a whole, you don't have to do anything. This Friday night is senior night for football. If everyone can get out, football team finally took a loss last week, but they're still doing pretty good. We got, talking about, and it got mentioned through the public, we were looking into getting a new website. We talked to a guy, it looks pretty good right now as anything these days. It's the financial part that I wanna look into, talking to more people to see if we can get the best bang for our buck. But it does look good, the website looks more professional, it looks, you're able to click on different things. Public's able to get more information into who's renting out the center, who's doing what, who's where. It's a whole lot easier to navigate also, cause it would cut out some of, cause I get questions about where's this and where's that and how do you find this? So it would make it easier. So we're looking into that as well as the information from these meetings will get posted, cause that, we're having a rough time with that also. So, we'll keep talking about that with those people. And we are also narrowing the stretch on the tech support we are trying to get. And then lastly, I will be having a workshop with everyone. We will have 2 different ones. I'll let everyone know when we're gonna do it. I'll give everyone at least 2-3 weeks notice. We will have one at 8:30 a.m. or 9 a.m. and then we'll have another one at 4 p.m. And this will be to go over the handbook and all that stuff. And also, if Bob Namick, and they wanted to do health screening, so if anyone wanted to do one while we're there, you could do that type of stuff too. So we're gonna try and get this stuff all situated.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
With all of us being there, is that considered a meeting?
It's a workshop. We can't discuss anything,
Okay.
stuff like that.
I just have to advertise it 24 hours ahead
Yeah.
of time for a workshop.
Wanna make sure.
Mayor, on that note, the Aflac Allstate Life guy contacted me, wanting to know with new employees for the supplemental insurances, if he could maybe, talk to people, would that be the time maybe he could come in? He's a representative for,
No, we'll do that committee meeting.
Okay.
So then that doesn't cross the line.
he just wanted to talk to employees and
Okay.
have a meeting, okay. Thank you.
Other than that, that's it. So I got finance, Terry.
Okay, motion to approve the fiscal officer's expenditures as received and expected for the month of September 24, and approved to pay the bills as received.
I'll second.
Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Eltier?
Yes.
Ms. Pennington?
Yes.
Ms. Gage?
Yes.
Ms. Belknap?
Yes.
Mr. Belknap?
Yes.
B, motion to approve the all funds bank balance for September 24 as reported.
Second that one, please.
Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Eltier?
Yes.
Ms. Pennington? Ms. Gage?
Yes.
Ms. Belknap? Mr. Belknap?
Yes.
C, motion to sell the following police cars on Gov Deals auction site. With all the VIN numbers, I'm not reading those.
Can you just list the 3 vehicles?
Yeah,
So everyone knows.
2014 Ford Explorer, 2014 Ford Explorer, and 2014 Dodge Charger.
I'll second.
Are we not adding, 2 water trucks then?
Oh yeah, we did discuss that.
I didn't get that information, sorry. Chief had sent me those ones, and I can't remember. Can you get me those VIN numbers and I'll have it on? And get rid of those? Which ones?
Can we add them, or does that have to be a separate? Chuck,
They're not listed on here now.
so the next meeting, or next council?
Which 2 trucks?
The old Ford, red Ford, and the old blue Ford at the wastewater plant.
Oh, that one was back here.
Yeah.
Where would I get those things?
I'll read 'em up.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Eltier?
Yes.
Ms. Pennington?
Yes.
Ms. Gage?
Yes.
Ms. Belknap?
Yes.
Mr. Belknap?
Yes.
Did you find the trains?
Nope.
I was gonna say, it would be on the trains.
Okay, I do, I'll look at those ones, there is some titles there, I just can't find these, but these ones.
All right, 11, we have utilities, Scott.
We have a resolution, that's resolution 2024-20. A resolution authorizing rural community assistance, partnership to apply for, accept, and enter into a cooperative agreement for the construction of the water meter replacement project between the Village of Windham and the Ohio Water Development Authority, and declaring an emergency. So I have,
You have to suspend rules.
yeah, I have to, I just want.
Suspend the rules.
Yeah, suspend the rules, please, I need a motion.
Second. Cheryl.
Who was the second?
Cheryl.
Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Eltier?
Yes.
Ms. Pennington?
Yes.
Ms. Gage?
Yes.
Ms. Belknap?
Yes.
Mr. Belknap?
Yes.
Make a motion to approve, R 2024-20. I need a motion.
Second.
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Ms. Eltier,
Yes.
Ms. Pennington, Ms. Gage,
Yes.
Ms. Belknap,
Yes.
Mr. Belknap.
Yes.
We have a first read of ordinance number 2024-10. An ordinance to revise and amend section of 921.01 of the Village of the Windham Utility Code to adjust sewer rates for the discharge of wastewater to the village. That's a first read. Another first read is the ordinance 2024-11. An ordinance to revise and amend section of 923-03 of the Village of Windham Utility Code to adjust water rates for the purchase of water from the village. That's a first read.
And just to clarify for anybody out there, we're just doing a 5% raise like we used to do that we froze in the past.
That's it for utilities.
12, we have service committee, Cheryl.
I have nothing to say.
Economic development, David.
So I'll do a third and final reading of ordinance number 2024-8, an ordinance amending chapter 1173 to address permitted roofing of the codified ordinance of the Village of Windham. I'd make a motion to approve that.
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Ms. Eltier,
Yes.
Ms. Pennington, Ms. Gage,
Yes.
Ms. Belknap,
Yes.
Mr. Belknap.
Yes. The other thing I have is I gave everybody on council information on the water line project. Just a couple more things he's gotta plug into, but this is what he sent me for now. We just have to talk at the committee meeting and establish a cheaper rate for tap fees while the ditch is open to entice people to tap in while we are doing the construction. So we need to talk about that at the next meeting and get that back to him and go from there. But total costs they're looking at is 1.5 million-ish for the project. So that's where we're at on that.
What about the grant? Was he looking at a grant for us too?
Yeah, so on the second page, it talks about, there's a CDBG grant and an EPA grant available. That's what he would like to look into. I'm not as well versed on that as most of you guys are for the grant process and stuff. But he said the CDBG would be, one that we should go after,
It's been used in the past on big projects.
so.
I think in the long run, it would be an investment.
That's all I have for economic.
No, you have more things to say.
Oh, I do?
You have more, sorry.
Oh, I gotta flip the
You
page.
gotta flip the page.
Oh, lordy,
You got
there's
two
two
more.
more. Alright, resolution R 2024-19, a resolution authorizing the application for and subsequent acceptance of the OPWC grant funds by the Village of Windham and declaring an emergency. Suspend the rules. I'll make a motion to suspend the rules.
I'll second.
Sorry. Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Ms. Eltier,
Yes.
Ms. Pennington, Ms. Gage,
Yes.
Ms. Belknap,
Yes.
Mr. Belknap.
Yes. And I'll make a motion to approve resolution R 2024-19.
Second?
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Ms. Eltier,
Yes.
Ms. Pennington, Ms. Gage,
Yes.
Ms. Belknap, Mr. Belknap.
Yes. All right. We have an ordinance on here. First read of ordinance number 2024-12, an ordinance amending section 1176.02, purpose and zoning C1 local commercial districts to address medical marijuana or recreational marijuana facilities of the codified ordinance of the Village of Windham.
This is just to be able to, if we wanted to have them zoned in right now? Cause aren't we gonna have a
Yeah,
public?
that's the
Yes,
parameters
that-
and stuff,
yeah.
like all the stuff that
Yeah,
goes,
you're gonna have to have.
if we wanted to have it. Like I said earlier, if we were gonna, to go any further with all this stuff would have to be public meeting, we would have to have
Okay.
hearings and such. So,
Alright,
Pastor scared all y'all, none of y'all know what to say.
Sorry.
That's all I
no,
have.
but I think the public has a right to
Of
weigh
course,
in on this,
absolutely.
yeah.
Anybody would second that or not?
We don't.
That was just first read.
Oh, safety and personnel, Maryland?
this doesn't have to really do with safety of personnel, but last week the Historical Society invited 2 busloads of people to go to the Arsenal and tour it, so the 3 of us went, and it was great. I mean, for their $30 donation, you definitely get your money's worth. I mean, they have you on and off that bus, and they encourage you to take pictures, like, I didn't think we'd even be able to have like our phones or anything, you know, with us, but they were very accommodating. They love to, you know, shout about the work they're doing there, how they're making it into more, it's a training facility now, basically. But, you know, with all the land they have and everything, it's just, you know, they said most of it is, when they make these training courses for the guys to come for their weekends or the Ohio National Guard runs it now, if people didn't know that, but, so it was really, really informative, really cool, a really unique thing to have here, you know, and they're really just, taking it, I guess, to another level, you know, to use that facility, so I thought it was pretty cool. So I'd encourage anyone, if they get invited to go.
She will be doing another one
Definitely
in the
worth it.
spring, correct?
Yeah, she said to just let her know.
I did one maybe 2-3 years ago.
Or send your Gmail
Yeah.
to her and she'll get back to you.
Okay, so this was Linnea St. John, who runs the Historical Society, she's the one that coordinated everything, but it was fantastic, I can't say enough about it, it was really great. Yeah, and then, the other thing I had, again, not really, well, 2 more things. Personnel, so I'm gonna send an email out to department heads to get evaluations done by December 1st, so that we're ready to go with raises at the beginning of the year. So, of course, that's gonna take a minute for us to, you know, look at everything and figure out the raises and what they're gonna be and implement them, but we don't want a situation like we had this year where we're paying all that back pay at once, you know, for raises, so we're gonna try and, get that done real fast
Can we
this year.
get it done by the committee meeting so we can get it on the agenda for the council meeting to have them take effect January 1?
Well, again,
She has it done by December 1st.
Right,
Two
if-
weeks.
I mean,
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes and how people respond and what it get, you know, how it gets done, but I'm hoping that, you know, we can definitely get everything gathered and together by December 1st so that we can take a look at that, you know, and all of us can look it over and everything and discuss it, so. So that, I'll take care of that this week, and then the other thing, I was up at the Renaissance Center, cause I had some, clothes donations up there to take up there, and I met Betty and I spoke with her, and so she was saying about activities. I asked her kind of, I really haven't been up there too much. I've been up there once or twice at the library and things, but she was telling me about the resources they have, you know, the gym and that kind of thing. And so I'm gonna try and look into getting some kind of senior physical fitness, you know, chair yoga or something. And then also I wanted to know about what could we do to maybe open the gym to the kids for like indoor hoops for, you know, winter time?
To
Is
like the
that-
Renaissance.
Do they do, do they
You
do
have to
it?
sign a waiver and all that
Yeah.
stuff. They just go to the office and you sign.
Okay.
Yep.
So, I mean, is that something that's supervised, or do they not need supervision? Does anybody
You
go?
have to have an adult.
Okay. I mean, well, I just, you know, I have no
I do
idea,
know
like they,
a lot of the churches, and there's places from out of town, they actually go up there and use it a lot too.
do they? Okay, that's good, that's good. She didn't mention really any of that, so I was just kinda, you know, after I spoke with her, I was just kinda thinking about things, and I didn't know if there was, you know, a place, I know the kids use the park up here, but what do they do in the winter time, you know? So that's good, if it's getting used, that's really good. So, that's it, that's all I have.
Thank you. Parks and
I
Rec,
don't have
Sherry.
anything.
Did the benches get sold?
We missed the bus on those.
Yeah, when I called him, he had already, they needed to be moved at the location they were at, so we're next on the list. So the next one's available, we'll get, but yeah.
Planning Commission, we don't have anything. Police Chief,
Yeah, I'd like to thank the Legion to give us another $3,000 check. They've been giving us some money throughout the year, it's been nice. We called and tried to schedule the inspection of the police department, but they told us that JC Electric had not pulled a permit for when they did the work inside, which I was unaware of. And so I called and talked to them, they came back out, there was some lights that aren't working that they're gonna look at again. And then they're also gonna check the lights out in the parking lot, because I don't know that they work. And I think the outside lights above the doors are tied in with a timer that work with those lights. So they're gonna look at those and see what that is gonna be, so. Once they come out and they pull their permit, then the county will come out and do the inspection, so.
Did they give you a time frame on which they were going to come out?
I talked to them, they were out yesterday and said that they'd give me a call in the next 2 or 3 days to let me know when they have somebody available.
Can we get a report when you're done, moved in, on how much the total move and construction and everything has cost? It was like the buying the building, all the electrical, the lumber, all that.
I'm sure we could figure it out. I mean, I've kept the POs and stuff that I've turned in, so I could probably add all that up. I don't know exactly what the purchase price was.
125.
I know we did it through the year, so we could probably pull it up off the meeting, but yeah, we could do that.
Thank you.
that it, Chief?
Yes.
Oh, I got a question. What were the terms for the WDOs? Week, 14 days?
You can set the terms however you want, usually you can set them.
I think the minimum bid has to be 500 according to our ordinance.
I believe
So
so.
if we could check that,
Yeah,
just
we'll
make
probably,
sure.
I would imagine we'll make it higher than that, I would think.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure
And then,
we're at least
yeah.
following the ordinance.
And you have to advertise them twice
Okay.
on
And
there, so.
I did do some research and it looked like they were worth 8,000 is about where the mileage and everything is on those cars that we'd asked for. Somebody did say that the fire department was requesting us, maybe donate a car to them. They haven't come to me and asked me directly, so, I don't know if that's a thing or not, so.
Terry, did they ask if fire?
I don't think we can do asked for donations before for things and we were not allowed to do that.
Tom said
That's
we were
what
not
Tom
allowed to
said.
transfer money.
Money, yeah, we couldn't do money, but I don't know about
Oh, okay,
anything else.
okay.
I mean, if it's something where we can, I know that the fire department gets a ton of money for radios that the police department's not eligible to get, and they get grants for them. I talked to Nikki about it. If it's something where we can work out, they wanna trade us some radios for a car or something, cause the radios are $4,000 a piece, and we got 5 that are getting ready, they're gonna terminate in June or July. So I've been looking for a grant to get some radios. And if that's something we can maybe work out to get some radios through them or somehow with that, that might be something we would wanna do.
So we already approved the motion for the resolution. Does that go into effect though? Since we already.
There's one.
Oh, do we have
Just
other
sell them on
vehicles?
gov deals.
Do we have other vehicles or? Are you
You have a motion to sell 3 vehicles.
Right.
You approved that, so you're gonna sell 3 vehicles.
Right.
Now, you're saying you have an ordinance that governs what your minimum price you can sell it for is?
It's my understanding, yes, that anything over $500 has to be sold on gov deals.
I don't know what the ordinance is, I have to look at it. I
Talk
didn't
to
know,
Nick,
I didn't know you were gonna have 3 vehicles, and then
see what he wants.
Yeah, I think that came through today, right?
Did what?
Putting them on the agenda,
No,
or
Friday.
yeah, Friday?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what it's on Friday.
zoning, Chris?
Okay, so no permits this month, and getting quiet. Went to the regional meeting, Sherry, they're still got you guys on the list for some grant, I guess. You probably know more about that.
It's a sidewalk grant.
Oh,
Still
it is?
Still in place, still going on, Cheryl. Cheryl will be the first person I call as soon as this grant's approved. Hey, you did it, Cheryl.
So that's still on with them. So the roof, once I guess we'll have the ordinance, so what's gonna happen basically is Portage County will have a copy of the ordinance because, my friend Jeannie up there, what happens when someone leaves Windham and goes to Portage County and gets a building permit for a roof, whether you do or you don't, I don't care. But, cause I work for you guys, but nevertheless, she will now have a copy, and when they come there, I don't even think she'll give them a permit unless they have a permit from the village, okay? Now, vice versa, if I give you guys a permit and you don't go to Portage County, it's none of my business. I'm a homeowner, I get it, the fees outside this village are very expensive. That's on you guys, so that's what's gonna
You
happen.
do encourage people to go to the county though.
Huh?
Yeah, follow the law.
Yes, please.
I'm not involved in that, it's not my job.
I just want to confirm though, you're gonna recommend people go to the county
Yeah, we-
after they get one from you,
We
right?
do recommend, like, you.
Well,
you don't wanna
freedom
sit-
recommended
I
me.
get you're kinda
Yeah.
joking, but you don't wanna.
I'm,
sit that, you know,
right,
that's-
take my permit and I'll go to Portage County.
Okay.
Whether they do or don't, I don't hold their hand, I don't babysit, that's on them. That's all I mean.
Alright, thank you.
You're welcome.
Housing report, Demel.
Alright, a couple of things, so, a couple of weeks, like a week or 2 back, I was supposed to do a 9515 community, but I believe we had, communicated with them that they have to get the roof inspected by the Portage County, builders, because it is a commercial unit, commercial, property. So I haven't got anything from them yet, but, I will reach out to them later and see what it is for their, to re-inspect it. 9539 Green Meadow, I recently, went to, that was kind of a problem area. So I, inspected a couple of apartments. When I went up there, I was under the impression I was inspecting all of them, but I didn't get a chance to, so a few of them I didn't inspect. The ones I did inspect, there was 2 of them that were remodeled pretty good, I must say, but the rest of them were terrible. They weren't ready for people to be inhabited in there. So, they did clean up a big mess that was around 9539. I don't know if you guys ever been around there, but it was by the A apartment. It had extra things that they've cleaned that up. They still need to get into A, and we still need to do a couple of things with the water. I talked to the mayor about setting something up so they can, because there's no water on right now, so setting something up to where they can get a temporary on turning the water on, see if there's any leaks or anything, and we'll do that possibly next week for 5 days. Now, in our ordinance, it says in 134108, you need a license to have people rent. Well, they haven't signed up for this year, so they don't have a license, so have to pay that, and they have a fee on their water, so that's why we're doing the temporary. And they also have to fix a few things for the water, so
Is the water the one where A, B, C, all of them were linked
yes,
together, 1 meter?
yes. I wanna actually, this what?
It's A and B.
A and B?
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't able to get into A, of
So,
course.
so what I advised on that particular one and any other one that we come across, if we go in and it's like that, we're not turning on the water. The homeowner will have to split that because she pays her bill, he did it,
Yes.
and we can't shut her off because she paid. And shut off is on her side,
Right.
so.
Yeah, we're having that issue too, but I wanted to go probably sometime next week and actually look at it and see what it is that needs to be done exactly. You said A and B,
Yeah,
So-
so.
would there be
Something
someone to
happened
check?
outside, I can come with you if you want, we can go look at it.
Okay.
But the outside curb box, something happened, so instead of them fixing it back right, they come out of her apartment, tapped into her line, and went through the wall.
Gotcha.
So there's no way to shut him off.
Okay. Well, that's what, I'm gonna get the temporary, or try to get a temporary for just those 5 days next week.
That building should be empty, they evicted everybody out of there.
Should be, but when I was walking up and I was doing the inspections, it was either, I wanna say it was C. Apartment
Yeah,
C.
she was evicted yesterday.
Okay, yeah, okay. So there's no one in that apartment, and I didn't have plans on letting anyone in to rent until that apartment is all 5 of them, 6 of them are squared away and up to standards, up to code. So
Is the building department coming in to make sure they're up to code, or is how's that?
no, not the building department. That's only for 9515 and the roofing.
Okay.
But if it is structural damage, which I didn't get a chance to see. I did see some structural damage on A, but I wasn't allowed to get in. I noticed it was separation right when you walk into the door. So that would be an issue, and that would be something that Portage County might have to come in and see.
I was just, if they're like remodeling or doing anything inside, making sure that they have proper firewalls installed and everything else.
Yeah,
Make sure it's up to code that
yeah, I
way.
would definitely.
You said that other one had 2 new, recently remodeled stuff.
Yeah, one of them I got in, but the other one I wasn't able to get in the wrong key or something. So,
So we're not gonna do a temporary turn on until you two meet there, right?
well, I was gonna plan on doing it next week, and then we should figure out a day, and then we can go up there and see.
Before we turn the water on, temporary.
No, when we turn the water on, they wanna find the leaks. I wanna give them because I have to inspect it with the water on anyway.
Okay.
Which I can tell it's not gonna be, it's gonna be some leaks in there, especially the couple of ones that I expected.
Okay.
We'll possibly have some, but that's what the temporary is, just for that, so we can find out, and they'll get shut off the first, probably that Friday. Then we'll go from there. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. Okay. So yeah, like I said, so everyone should be out of that 9539 green metal right now. That's it for me.
Alright, I did talk to him today, and I mentioned to him how those two units are connected, and he should probably try and get those disconnected. He said to me that he is not doing it because it is $3,000 and he'll decide when he wants to do it. And he will not do it because he will threaten us with legal action if we try and make him do it. Right? So, and as far as the other building with 9515, he said that he doesn't have to listen to anything we say about getting the stuff done.
Those are his exact words?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He said that once the people in Cleveland, once the property managers, once they said they were done, that's it. We don't tell him what is done and what's not done, and he will sue us if he doesn't. So he wanted me to talk to you, and I told him we'll have a discussion about whatever it is. So I did mention that to him. So we've met him live and in person. So I mean that pretty flows with me.
Is there any merit to that, Charles?
When I spoke with him, he said, you know, he's not out here to find a plumber, but if we found one, he would do it. But if he doesn't wanna fix it, then he would have to take responsibility for the water bill. Like, then you pay all your tenants and you figure out how you're gonna figure that out. I mean, that's the only option he's got. Because unless he assumes responsibility for the water
How would
bill.
that work though, if he doesn't pay, you're gonna shut down?
Yeah, both of them
Yeah.
will shut.
Right.
And by law, like, she was paying, B was paying, A wasn't.
Right.
So the shut off is actually B's. It goes in hers and then they come out of her wall and then into his. So legally, if she pays, you can't shut her off.
Right.
So there's no way to shut him off, like he didn't pay and, you know, we went.
But if you put it all in the landlord, you can
Yeah.
shut them both off, right?
Well, you shut, yeah.
Really, my issue is not really with the water. It's more is it habitable? Can you live there? And if you can't live there, it doesn't matter really.
Water's good.
Yeah, water, you know.
Yeah.
I just wanna make sure you two are on the same page. If he's saying not to turn the water on, and you want it on temporarily.
Well, for an
I just
inspection,
wanna make sure
that's
everything was
different.
sound to where we don't turn it on and then.
Yeah, I
he's
won't.
not
I won't
communicating.
turn it on unless they have to.
If
You gotta
he
give
needs
them the
an
green light
inspection,
anyway.
That's fine, but, I mean, it's not gonna.
And it would be temporary anyway, so
Yeah.
you got 5 days to figure it out. It's turned off. But if they, like you said, he's paying for it. If he goes that
Nobody's
route
living in
and he
Beagle,
pays
right?
it, you know, there's really.
Yeah, so you could actually shut him off because no one's living in B, so it's not.
Just wanna make sure.
Alrighty, thanks, sir. Village Administrator Ryan.
I really don't have nothing else other than what was already discussed. I would like to, bring up the fact that we still have about $150,000 worth of new equipment sitting outside. And I'd really like to get that under roof or figure out, you know, what we could do with the new skid steer. You know, just something we've talked about. Maybe get some thoughts, see what you guys think.
Brandon, start?
Brandon did start, it's going well, I think it's gonna be alright. So, everything's good. No issues, filters are holding up great. Yeah, we're good. We do have that Hustler motor. It's, Scott, you probably know I hate those things. Once you resolve one thing, another thing
Is that at the water or wastewater?
That's true.
Or street?
Just let us know.
Which they share it with water, that particular one, but I would like to just get rid of those finally forever. Maybe look at getting something different. Doesn't necessarily have to be, Kubota. You know, but, I mean, we put tons of money in those things, you know, constantly, and it's constantly down. It seems like every other year we gotta buy a clutch and they're $800 a piece, and that's just gonna keep going up. For the belts, so you can mow, starter's messing up on it, and, it just started.
Every money pits.
They really are, they really are, and it's never just one particular issue. Like you fix this and that clicks, and that clicks, and that clicks, they're just horrible, they're absolutely horrible. And I don't think it's worth putting money into.
Did we get the baskets taken back to Miss Gearhart?
I'm not sure, I'll find out, but, well,
I feel like he
here's the
did.
question.
I feel like he did. The baskets are horrible. They're done. So we don't,
Yeah.
the baskets are, they probably shouldn't have used them this past year.
I agree, I just
Yeah.
wanna make sure they were
I
returned.
believe he did. Matter of fact, I think a while ago,
Yeah.
like 6 weeks ago or so, I think he told me that, Robbie did.
And
When it
then,
rotted or what happened?
well, no, we
Yeah,
just-
there's old, they're just, we need new ones.
For probably,
Yeah, they were bad. Very bad.
but going into next year, I would like to check out other
Absolutely.
baskets.
And then are we gonna have the flags taken down?
Yes.
When are we doing that? There's two of them that's really messed up.
Well,
There's three.
I mean, we'll get on, but
I saw them
we are working on the community center to get that ready for the end of the month, for the, museum.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, but we will get them.
Ryan, we have some, I don't know if you need drywall, we got all the stuff that was left extra in that back room over there, that blue building, there's a toilet, probably a sink and stuff.
Yeah, we just think,
So, that, I put it all in the room so we can get it out the back door and load it up if you guys want it.
Are we gonna utilize the front entrance for the museum?
yes.
And is it
And
gonna be
there's gonna be
open,
a ramp on there too.
is it gonna be open after dark? Like 5 o'clock in the winter time?
No, it'll just be a daily thing, a few hours a day.
Okay, I just wanna make sure, cause we need light out there, so I just wanna make sure when we're going into darkness.
As long as it's 5 o'clock at dark.
Next week.
Nah, it's still a lot of stuff left, they have to fix a lot of stuff in there, I gotta find another curator, Cheryl had to step down from that, so, it's a lot of stuff we still have to figure out. It'll be alright once we do it.
Did we propose a budget for that, or do we wanna make sure we don't go over a certain amount for materials and supplies that we need in there?
We've got just about everything we need. The biggest expense we'll have is JC Electric is giving us a quote. And I'll let you know what that is, but they're gonna retrofit the lights, to LEDs, and then the ramp. Everything else we've already got.
We have all the equipment.
Yeah, we got a lot. It's gonna be minimal for what it is, but.
Then after that, it's just electric.
I think there might possibly free money out there for LED upgrades. I don't know if you guys had it in Trumbull or whatever, but our fire department, we were able to swap over all of our lights to LEDs for very minimal cost. So that could be something to look into as well. Cause I know the whole community center needs new lighting in it.
I know eventually I'd like to, maybe have a budget for the other side. And the community center. Which will take, that's all I got.
Is that it? All right. Thank you, sir. Solicitor, Charles?
Nothing.
Thank you.
It's good news.
Then we have last chance for council and crowd to speak.
I just have a question. I was going through my notes the other day. We had that big water break down at the plaza. With Nick and that. Did he ever pay that water bill?
That's going through, is that done with court or whatever?
Yeah, it's been adjudicated, through the court.
I was
Oh,
waiting
okay.
until it was over, cause we couldn't
Oh, I
negotiate, yeah, we couldn't talk about that.
Oh, okay, I know it was a big one,
So I have to see what they're gonna, what we can and can't do with that.
okay.
I have something, but you can go.
You
Go
sure?
ahead.
Okay. I'll be quick. Thank you for going out with me to look at that property, and when I was at the last meeting, I didn't bring the pictures. So I have it set from right before you and I went, and then since, and so I have to share a little bit. And I knew that once people knew I was getting a little upset finally enough to bring it up here instead of the normal channel, that, it would word would get out, but I didn't know someone was gonna go out the day that you and I met at 2, like before we were out there, I didn't know that. So I would have mentioned a long time ago. But thank you for talking to people and maybe getting another crew together. I see some changes, and so I'm very happy, like, it's been several, like 2018, 19. So, and these are more recent. I don't have the older ones as it was growing, and I'm so glad that it's getting taken care of. And because when you drive by the street, as you know, you don't see what's in those photos, because it's more toward the back and on the side. And so that's why I didn't want anybody to think, oh, she's making a mountain or a molehill. It doesn't look that bad from the street.
Yeah, when I went and spoke with him, he was just one of those people, things were getting rough on him. He said
Oh, yeah, I know,
he
I
had
get
lost
it.
his wife, he said his vehicle just went down, it was.
Yeah, but
it
it's
was
been
just-
accumulating,
Yeah, and I get that, and we just
Yeah.
had a conversation, and he was accepting to help and all the stuff, and then, like I said, I spoke with Jake and the football kids and stuff.
Right.
So everybody, like I said, the community's always willing to help do stuff, it's just, if it gets brought to my attention, then I'll definitely try and take care of it, and I'm glad that progress is being made on that situation,
And I wanted to say, if there is a date or dates that come up and, there's a group, I'd be happy to send snacks. I don't wanna be part of it, but you know what I mean? Because like you say, that is how the community rolls or can roll, and I like that. So if they need anything like that, I'm happy to help. The other thing was just a little to tag on what Terry said earlier. I mean, I think a lot of people here and outside of here know where I would be standing on the dispensary business, but I'm not gonna really harp on it a lot, but for me, it's more fundamental. It's so basically fundamental, and I've hired the people that live there, work there, are in and out of there, in his meetings at the church and these things, and I would just not wanna do anything to stumble them, and I just feel like that is what this would be. Them, and even the kids, I mean, that didn't even occur to me, but that makes sense, and so they worked with me on the properties, and they're just trying, like any other addict that you know, and I feel like they can go to Newton Falls, they can go to all these other areas and get it, like in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, and for me, it's not the person who sits in their home and likes to smoke pot and get hot, relax for the day like someone gets a beer or whatever. I'm not even talking about those people, I'm not talking about the drug dealers who that's their vocation until they're caught. I mean, this is simply for me about the people who live in this community already and who may be coming in and out, and they just have that thing. It just seems unnecessary, and I get the tax revenue and all that, but for me, it's just totally fundamental. We all hear the stats and the laws, whatever. So, and then, like, she had mentioned about realtors calling her, and I don't know, I had a bad taste in my mouth, and last time realtors were in here trying to change codes and do things, and now we can have trailers and modulars anywhere in the village. So, they, their perspective is different than my fundamental one. That's all I have on that. So you guys decide whatever you do,
Thank you.
So mine would be directed to the mayor and the chief. I was advised last week that a contractor went into our wastewater treatment plant area to dump and uses a machine, dump truck, remove materials from said area from the village. I consider it village property because we own the dump. And was using that for a job they said contractor was working on. Is there any way we can investigate that, see if it's true, see if there's anything like to pursue, if there's legal action, whatever the case may be, for people coming in, taking our materials and leaving with it?
Alright, so here would, so this was, what was that, about a month ago? Yeah, roughly about a month ago. We had, I got a call from our, water worker, street department guy, that there was, someone that had asked to get dirt from back there. That's fine, they were advised that they have to do it, we can't use our employees, all blah, blah, blah. So they went back there, they got their own person, which happens to be a contractor, to go back there and get that stuff. We were alerted of that, Ryan took care of it in the sense that it is. Since then, we did think about doing a liability waiver, so no one got harmed or this, that, and the other. But since then, I had spoke with a few people and our solicitor, and I decided we're just gonna shut that down. So you're no longer gonna be able to go back there and get anything out of there, because it's too many things that can go wrong. And I don't wanna get the village in any kind of scramble or any kind of issues with public or whatever it may be. So we're just shutting that down. So they're whatever happened, I mean, it was for a village resident. That's who they asked to bring in. They got it. It's shut down now. So from now on, it won't be up. I'll talk with Ryan. We'll get signage up so people are aware that they are not to be back there for any reason whatsoever. We're shutting everything down. Like, if you go back there, you should schedule an appointment with someone to go back there.
So just to confirm, if there's something like village residents have to take back there, will they be able to schedule to go back there with, say, village administrator, wastewater treatment guy,
Yep.
to be able to go back and dump
You're gonna
their
have to
own
go
branches?
You're gonna have to go through him.
Okay, so that way you have to be a village resident.
Not one of the
all that.
employees, not one of the, it's him.
Okay.
If he doesn't say yes, then it's not, 'cause I don't wanna have one of those employees say yes, and then they forget to tell him, and then he doesn't tell me, and then we have a conversation that he doesn't wanna have, and that's not where we wanna go with that.
So that's the process, but absolutely nothing is being
Nothing is
removed.
going back there unless you speak with him.
Okay.
And the him is Ryan. For the record.
Ryan, the village administrator. That's all I have.
I do have, for the, I talked about the museum, but there is Habitat for Humanity reached out to me, and I'm trying to, this is why, another reason I wanna try and get our website up. They have an application for anyone with low to moderate income to help with critical roof repairs. I do know they posted it on, Addie posted it on our Facebook website, trying to get it on the main website, but I will print that out and have it in where you pay your water bill in the little clear baskets, if anyone knows, if anybody that would like to use those. And that's through Habitat for Humanity, and her name is Kalina Garkey, and her phone number is 330-296-2880.
Can you forward us that information so we can distribute it to people?
Get her. And that's all
So
I
I'm not
have.
on Facebook.
Too many fun people on there. Anybody
Too many
else?
faces.
Alrighty.
Calendar, is everybody good with the calendar
Yep.
next month, the 12th and the 26th?
Yes.
I won't be here the 12th.
Do you want us to move it, or?
And you can't, well, you can, it'll be a week later. Yeah, she runs it anyway, so I mean, you can do it, yeah. I mean, if we move it, it would
Oh,
have to
wait a
be the
second.
week before.
Yeah, you know what I do, that's that week.
Oh, come on.
You're out of town and I have all that, yeah, I actually am gonna be out, yeah, that week is really bad for me.
Is the 26th Thanksgiving time or what?
Yeah,
2 days before.
Oh,
It's-
2
yeah.
days before.
I wanna be in Florida if that matters. You're gonna be gone too? He called me.
We'll just cancel all the meetings.
So,
Well, we don't need one in November.
How about can we do the fifth?
that's election day.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh,
election day.
What about the sixth?
No.
You say no? Wednesday, the sixth?
That's okay.
Wednesday the sixth,
Yeah,
and we're still keeping the 26th.
I'm good with it. It's a Wednesday.
Wednesday the sixth.
That's it.
It's red.
Still in the sixth.
You got it, Cheryl?
I'll remind you. Cheryl.
Alright, so, stay focused. So the meeting dates will be November sixth at 6 p.m. and November 26th at 6 p.m.
Okay.
Everyone good with that?
Got it.
Yeah.
Alright, make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Ms. Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Altier?
Yes.
Ms. Pennington?
Yes.
Ms. Gage?
Yes.
Ms. Belknap?
Yeah.
Mr. Belknap?
Yes.
7:20.